end of September, we had about 8 inches of rain in a short period of time, and we live on Lake Altoona. Friday morning, the lake started coming over the banks in our backyard, and at the same time, my husband was having a medical crisis. So we ended up heading off to the emergency room, and by the end of that day, about 9 o'clock that night, the sandbags that had been put up failed and the water came into the house. And so by midnight, we had a couple inches of water throughout the basement, and then by morning, the next day, we had probably 6 inches throughout the whole basement, which was partially finished. And so you can imagine 6 inches of water made quite a mess. It was hard to believe it was happening, actually. I wasn't sure what to do next. I called our insurance company, and they recommended calling somebody to start looking at what do we do to restore. And I had heard really good things about Steamatic, so I gave them a call, and they were actually out within, I think, an hour and a half. That day, on Saturday, I ended up back at the hospital with my husband, who had been admitted, and 5 guys from Steamatic came and spent the whole day, along with our friends and family, shoveling out water, moving debris, moving furniture, and then Steamatic got all the fans and dehumidifiers set up. So things looked pretty bad that first day, and so we were anticipating, a really major repairs. But Steamatic kept their equipment here, and about every day we would hear from them, and they would stop and look at how things were going. They would test for humidity and test the wood and see what needed to be done, and they would move equipment around. For 10 days, we had all that equipment down in the basement. And at the end, after that 10 days, the doors had gone back to normal. We didn't have to replace the doors. The baseboards, the woodwork was good. They were able to save all our carpet. It doesn't smell. There's no odor down there. It's truly amazing. Particularly, I think anytime you had something like that happen, it was just a burden off my shoulders that they know what they're doing. I don't have to worry about this. Particularly when we were having a health crisis at the same time, it was just one thing. It's like, that's taken care of. I can just let that go. The people that I interacted with, they kept their word when they said they were coming. They came when they said they were going to come. They kept me informed of how did things look downstairs, what did we need to do. It was just a huge help. I can't say enough about that. TRAC was a very qualified company. The owners that I interacted with were trustworthy, kind. We were in a very difficult situation, very compassionate. They cared about us as people. It wasn't just a job, but clearly very knowledgeable and skilled at what they do. Call someone that has done this again and again. They obviously knew what they were doing. The outcome was much better than we expected. Our experience was wonderful. They'd be the first people I would call if we ever had to do this again, which I hope we don't. But.